Today's video is brought to you by streammusic.gg. It is my music catalog that is available to all content creators and streamers for music that is just so awesome. Guys, I'm a little bit biased, but it's awesome. If you guys want to live stream or make videos and use the music as a background song, you can absolutely do that without being threatened with copyright strikes. And also, if you just like to listen to good music while you're hanging out, listening to video games, check it out. The links are in the description down below. Now let's take a look at today's topics for the video. Big day for WWE. Yes, we know about those releases, and yes, I have a lot to say about it. We're also going to talk about T-Bar and his new name change in the WWE, and of course, we're going to talk about Matt Cardona, aka Zack Ryder, and a potential return to WWE. And if you guys want more videos like this, go ahead and click that subscribe button. So yes, what I want to do is actually turn our attention immediately to Matt Cardona. So if you guys don't remember, Zack Ryder was released by the WWE, and then he went on to the independent scene as Matt Cardona, and he completely revitalized his career. And I think it's really important to mention that Zack Ryder was, honestly, I don't believe he was a failure in WWE. I just feel like WWE kind of limited what he can be in WWE. I don't think they used him to his full potential in WWE. Now, with that being said, Matt Cardona goes on to the independent scene. He has a hell of a run, does some absolutely incredible things with GCW, and now more so recently with Impact Wrestling. And then, of course, you know, he's got his podcast. He's got all of this content that he's producing on the internet. Zack Ryder, Matt Cardona, has made a name known for himself outside of WWE, and he has been massively successful with it. And as far as that goes as well, he's also confirmed that he's made more money as an independent performer than he did 1 year in the WWE, which is actually really incredible news considering that the independent wrestling scene, you know, it's not the way it was prior to COVID. So just to see that he's been able to be successful is a fantastic thing. And this is probably why it would make sense for WWE to be interested. But nonetheless, he was on Not Sam Wrestling podcast. He was talking with Sam Roberts, and the question was brought up if he would go back to WWE, would it be as Zack Ryder or Matt Cardona? And I thought this was really interesting because he says that WWE is his developmental, and he said this a couple times before, but essentially when he says that WWE was his developmental, he's actually using it as praise. He's not taking a shot at WWE, and he clarifies that WWE taught him everything. They taught him how to do interviews. They taught him how to be a superstar, and he feels forever grateful to WWE for doing so. However, he believes that if he were to go back to WWE, which he's not going to completely he's not gonna deny or confirm that he's had talks. He kind of jokes about that as well on the podcast, but he does says if he ever goes back to WWE, he thinks it has to be him as Matt Cardona. And honestly, I agree. And I think the best way to position this, if you are Zack Ryder, if you are Matt Cardona, if you are the WWE, bring in Matt Cardona, have him trash the Zack Ryder gimmick, and have him go over as a heel. I thought Cody Rhodes did a phenomenal job leaving the WWE, coming back as a big star. I think you could actually do the same exact thing with Zack Ryder. We saw some very cool success for Jinder Mahal and Drew McIntyre. So if I am WWE, I would move forward with this. I also want to make it very clear that I think it has to be the Matt Cardona gimmick as well. It seems like a more serious gimmick. It seems more successful, in my opinion. And I also want to make it very clear that if Zack Ryder were to return to WWE, I think there will still be a ceiling as opposed to Matt Cardona. So let me know what you guys think. Should Zack Ryder return? I would love to hear from you guys down below. I want to turn our attention to T-Bar. So yes, it has been confirmed. PW Insider has now reported today that T-Bar is now listed internally as Donovan Dijak, not Dominic Dijakovic. Interesting decision here, because if you guys remember Dijak, if you guys remember Donovan Dijak, that was the name that he used, obviously, in the independent scene. WWE changed it up just slightly, and of course, a lot of people have been talking about this. A lot of people have been talking about the T-Bar gimmick, and obviously, we've been creating update videos on this stuff. Now, what's really, really cool about this is that it appears that WWE has realized that T-Bar was a failure due to the creative decisions by Vince McMahon, and it appears that WWE is willing to fix that. And by having him go to NXT, having him listed internally on the roster sheet as Donovan Dijak, I just think it makes the most sense. And I think this is a good move by WWE, and I think the WWE Universe will catch on very quickly to this. I think he's going to be successful. And I know this is an odd prediction. Maybe it's not. But I believe that if you're the WWE, one of the things that you have to do is make this guy feel like a serious threat to Braun Breaker. In fact, I would go as far as saying having Donovan Dijak defeat Braun Breaker for the world championship in NXT. And I think if WWE does that, I think Donovan Dijak will have a very nice path back to the main roster where he can be viewed as a credible star. Obviously, within time, it can happen. This cannot be rushed. This cannot be drawn out very long. The timing of this is very important because Donovan Dijak is somebody who was in WWE's main roster and in NXT before, and under the leadership of Vince McMahon, they couldn't do anything with him. So if Triple H, Stephanie, and Nick Khan find something for this man on NXT, they have a way to repair everything that was damaged, and I think it could be very beneficial in their favor. And with that being said, my friends, it's time for the main event of today's video. We are going to talk about those WWE NXT releases. 5 names were confirmed by PW Insider. Bodie Hayward from Andre Chase University has been released by the company. Sloan Jacobs, Eric Yan, Damaris Griffin, and Ru Feng have all been released by the WWE. And now I know some of these names may be a little bit foreign to you. Maybe you're not watching NXT Level Up. Maybe you're not paying attention to WWE's developmental system and what they have been doing in recent months. But however, it is very important that we talk about this because we have talked about it in the past. And this is why I always keep up with the NXT releases. WWE has sort of like this internal rule. That was something that's been reported for a while. They have like this internal rule. If you're not getting better, if you're not progressing, if you are not becoming what you should become, I don't know if that makes sense, but if you're not becoming anything valuable to the company, if you're not developing, if you're not getting better, there is a good chance that WWE is going to end the partnership with them and then therefore release them. Bodie Hayward is probably the one that you have seen the most on television. I thought he had a good look. Now, what's really interesting is Brian Alvarez has also mentioned that essentially there might be more to the Bodie Hayward story, maybe some stuff happening backstage, maybe some issues backstage. He didn't really go too much in depth with this, but I think this is a very different type of release. This is not WWE releasing talent due to budget cuts. This appears to be WWE releasing talent who are not developing. I thought Bodie Hayward looked good. I wouldn't be shocked to see if he ends up on AEW Dark at some point, but it's going to be very interesting to see how WWE navigates this. As far as the releases go, you never know what WWE is going to do. The rule was kind of like, if I remember correctly, it was supposed to be like every 90 days or so, certain talent were going to be signed to like smaller contracts or like these trial contracts. So I think it's safe to say that there could be more talent released. Hopefully not, but obviously we'll see kind of, what happens here and how things move forward. It's going to be very interesting. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. As always, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.